What's up, you filthy casuals? Welcome to the Casual Shenanigans Gaming Podcast, a podcast all about the irreverent love of gaming. I'm one of your hosts, Jeremiah, and tonight I am joined by Joel.
Hey!
Dave.
Was not ready for that.
And Papa James.
Can't top that, Joel. You win.
Oh, Dave, I forgot your tagline.
The best beard in the business?
Yeah. Joel, I don't have one for you yet. You could have the second best beard in the business, but you throw it out. Actually, James, you're probably in the running for second best beard in the business because, like, if you got the same length and depth on yours as Dave does, then you also have salt and pepper going for it, which is automatically, you know.
Dave, your beard's getting pretty thick, man.
Yeah, I grew it out a little bit for the Backyard Battlefield video and I haven't trimmed it back yet.
It almost looks a little frothy. Frothy. Not fluffy.
Definitely not fluffy. No, frothy. Yeah.
Frothy.
I can actually fluff it quite a bit more than this.
No, not fluffy. I don't know.
Like, let me get some fluff.
It's just kind of poofy a little bit.
Poofy.
Yeah.
Poofy, fluffy both work. Frothy is the one not 100% sure on.
I don't want a frothy beard.
Frothy, I mean, if you were like looking at a drink from Starbucks or something, you have like the frothy stuff at the top.
Okay, now I'm thinking about
or
it.
a beer, maybe.
What's that? I'm a frithin' and a frothin'. What's that one?
What?
I don't think that's...
I'm putting that on the list. I'm a frithin' and a frothin'.
That sounds like rap. Rap it. Do it. I'm a frothin' and a frothin'.
So anyway, welcome to the show, everybody. You can watch us live Thursday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at youtube.com/casualshenanigans. If you hop in right at 8, you can watch us do the warm-up. If you get there a little after that, you can watch us do the actual show. You can catch all the warm-ups later on youtube.com/casualshenanigans and podcast services of your choice. Tonight, we're going to start the show like we always do with the main topic. Now, Joel, I honestly don't know how to lead into this one because what you have written doesn't necessarily make sense without the context behind it, and you're the only one who knows the context. So, Joel, what is our main topic?
You should say the main topic, though.
All right, I should say the title of the main topic, which is, Does how you mow equal to how you play games? So, Joel, explain.
I have a question mark on there, too. I'm always asking the question, does any of this make sense? Okay, all right. So I was mowing the other day, and I started laughing a little bit because I realized I play video games the same way I mow. Not the mower that I have, but more of like how I mow.
Well, you don't have a mower, so I'm curious how you arrived at this conclusion.
You have a piece of string on a vacuum.
He's got a sword out there. He's like swiping stuff. This is just like the games.
Wait, hey, James, have you seen Joel's lawnmower?
No.
It's an electric weed eater that clips into a little rolling dolly. It's a vacuum. It's for the 50s housewife who also wants to do yard work. That's what it's for. Now, having said that, I've used it. It actually works way better than you'd think it would. For normal, like, casual grass cutting. Like, it's not going to be cutting through, like, super heavy, thick weeds or anything, but for the average, like, I've got a tiny little yard and I want to cut it quickly, it's a lot less work than having, like, an old crappy push gas mower that you have to get running every spring. I get why people would get one. But Joel, continue.
It was very, very cheap, so I couldn't afford a big one at the time. So I knew we needed something.
How much do you think push mowers cost?
Well, I didn't want to get didn't want to get a gas one. I knew you can get a gas one pretty cheap. Okay. I wanted to get an electric nice one.
Oh, gotcha.
I didn't have $500 to spend it at the time, but I know I needed something because I was like, crap.
You can get them for like less than $100 for even electric.
Really? For an electric push mower?
Not wireless, not like wireless. I mean cordless. Only ones with cords, and they're frustrating.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I actually did some research a little bit.
John got a wireless one and
a
cordless
his is about
one.
like $350.
Wireless.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, I heard him cutting the grass the first time, and I just heard like a little. I just go outside on the porch and me and him were having a conversation while he's mowing back and forth in the yard. Like, it was pretty chill.
Yeah, I also wanted to get some. I'm gonna get some electric because I mean, Joy might help sometime, but like
Women can't
she,
use
she,
gas.
she's done a little bit, but like she gets a little bit nervous using stuff like that. So
Okay.
it's like she feels a little bit more safer doing that. So
It brings out her pyro tendencies. She goes to fill it up. She's like, I can burn it all down now.
all over the grass.
Mickey, I'm coming.
Get rid of it all!
I'm coming, Mickey. All right.
I'm coming, Mickey.
All right. So anyway,
Mickey in some demon-infested hell cave or something. I'm coming, Mickey.
Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, but you said that after like the flames.
Oh,
were
like,
going, so I was
is
like, I'm
Mickey-
coming, Mickey.
Oh yeah.
Mickey's in
Hell. Oh boy. Well, this podcast is taking a
hot
left
down
turn.
here.
All right, Joel. I think we're
You're
gonna
burning
need the
up
rest
at
of
the
that.
flames.
I think we're gonna need the rest of the context now.
Okay, the rest of the context is, so I was mowing, and I just started laughing because I was like, this is interesting. I mow very much like how I play RPG games, or specifically, or honestly, most games. And what I mean by that is, so I logically know if, let's say you have a specific path, like specific even with mowing, right? Like the quickest path or the most like logical that, you don't have to go back twice or things like that, right? You pick like a route and you kind of stick with it and you can get it really nice and even and perfect, right? And you could probably do it the fastest that way, like, whatever, you could debate on that. But let's just say you have that route. But I found that like whenever I try doing that, I get so bored. I get really bored. So what I tend to do, what I tend to do, no. I don't just go all over the place, but I tend to, like, if I see like a really nice tasty patch of grass over there, I just say like, you know what? I want to mow that area. So yeah, I know. So but I realize
I'm getting warm all over.
coming down with hives. No, well, I realized because like in playing Skyrim, right? Like so I found that something like or even in Witcher, any game really, like when I'm on a quest, right? Let's say it's a longer quest. Like in Witcher 3, some quests last for freaking like 10 hours, okay? Well, to me, I almost kind of hate feeling like I'm trapped into a quest for a long period of time. Now, if it's so good, I can't help but only want to do that quest, right? But when I'm traveling to the quest that I need to be doing and I see some other cool stuff that I just really want to do, to me it kind of annoys me feeling like, I know I should be doing the main quest because I've just turned the storyline, but that's really cool over there. I want to go explore it now while I'm excited about doing that. So I end up abandoning the quest and just go do what I want to do because, like, to me, I have fun that way, And so I'll come back and finish up a quest. But usually I find I will do a quest or play a certain mission if it's so unbelievably fun, I'm like compelled to do it. But if it's like,
I love this patch. This is so fun.
But like I found like I've done it a few times where I pick like an exact route and do it. But like to me, I almost start thinking of the time, and to me like it's like I enjoy it more when I kind of go, I'm going to do this little area, and like, I know I usually do this next area, but I'm like, you know what, I'm just going to go over here because, I don't know, I'm enjoying it more. So I tend to do it that way because at least I'm enjoying it as opposed to just feeling like I don't know. But anyways, it just made me laugh because I was like, that's like very much how I play most games. Is like, I will go do something else if I want to go do it. Basically, as opposed to going, I gotta collect every little item from this cave first, 100%.
Right.
I'll just go, I'll leave it, and maybe I'll come back. But I'm just curious if it matches it all up with you guys.
Can I go first because I'm actually kind of concerned right now. I think Joel's onto something.
First, well, hold on, real quick. I just gotta get it off my chest. Joel, I used to be a professional landscaper.
Oh, I know.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
Oh my gosh.
Now, I will say the mower or the whatever weed eater that I have is not exactly gives pure cuts. Like, it's not going to create lines.
It's not going to create the lines. It's not creating the lines in the grass and stuff.
Yeah.
But it just seems like if I see some grass I really want to cut, I'm like, oh, okay.
I know. If I had a regular one, I think I would choose more a specific route.
Yeah.
But again, just to tell you, I do logically know that would be the best to make it the best looking and maybe the fastest route.
I understand. No, I understand.
But anyways, so let's see, Dave.
So when I mow, I tend to treat it like a math problem and mow in the most efficient route possible, never missing a spot. Like I start at one side and it's like a wave going to the other. There is no spot overlooked. If you can imagine like a whiteboard full of writing and you get an eraser and you start at the top and you go down and there is no mercy. I miss nothing. One pass all the way through.
My preferred method of doing it is you start on your perimeter, you cut your perimeter, which sets a defined line for you're going to come back and trim, but you cut your perimeter 2 laps shooting the grass inside, so 2 laps all the way around, which gives you an ideal amount of room to turn a 0 turn around, and then you either do a couple laps also going around the perimeter, but shooting the grass to the outside because 2 passes of the mower is enough that you're not going to be shooting grass into your flower beds now or whatever. You're just shooting it onto more grass. Or you just start doing the crisscross pattern back and forth. Now, if you're using a 0 turn, you can just do back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. If you're using a riding mower, it gets interesting because you can't, like, you have to cut in chunks, you know, if you're familiar with like cutting on a riding mower, because you can't turn it around on its own axis. You can't cut one line next to the other. You actually have to alternate passes, like 3 or 4 passes apart, and just keep layering that area back until you hit them all and then move on to the next. So, Dave, do you have a push mower?
Both a push and riding lawnmower. And I guess, yeah, you're right. For the riding lawnmower, there is a perimeter first. But after that, it is the whiteboard style, where it's like one side to the other, no spots will be missed. Which is probably less efficient overall.
I'm trying to think, what other thing do I do?
My prediction before I had this topic, or before I told you guys about it, was that I think Jeremiah's mowing does not actually equal how he plays the games as much, because I think how Jeremiah plays the games usually is most efficient, right? But I think you've done really professional grass stuff, so I think you're efficient, but also high quality. Like, you will also take your time to make it really good, so I don't think it equals as much to your gameplay.
That's just true, because that's not how I play games.
Yeah. No, it's not. So, but I was like, I don't think Jeremiah's lines up, because he's really good at what he does, and he's efficient, but he's also does like a really good job. In games, it's just straight into the patch.
Yeah.
Loud.
We were playing Wildlands the other day. What did I forget what I did.
Skip dialogue.
Yeah, skip dialogue. I think I just rode like the truck right into the enemy base, and you were like, are you hiding the objectives? We're supposed to sneak in. And I was like, oh. But I think it is the exact opposite. In racing games, like the GTA, I mean, I destroy vehicles all the time. Arma destroy vehicles all the time. Like in GTA, I'm just driving through sidewalks, people, grass. Like I'll just straight shot it over a mountain out of laziness, like while I'm flipping through Instagram.
That's gross.
In real life, right lane, the speed limit up to 5 miles an hour over. I'd rather let people pass me. I'm very courteous with merges. I believe the zipper should be used correctly. You know, the driving must be also precise. Grass cutting must be also precise. There's a right way to do it. There's a wrong way to do it. And then in games, it pretty much is just lawlessness. Like, so I think I might be more like the exact opposite, because I feel like in a lot of the things I try to take on as hobbies, I like to be competent in real life, and there are very few games where I would even meet competence. Shooters,
what about you, James?
Racing, anything else?
What's that?
What about you?
So I did kind of like Jeremiah, where I did the perimeter, and then I would switch it up. I would just do something different each time, so it wasn't the same exact pattern every time. Usually I would do diagonal, just because it looked better. And then I would maybe go over again to kind of create like a checkerboard look. That's awesome. Then the back, I would just be like, screw this, I hate the backyard.
I enjoy this.
That sounds like a Skyrim house where like you've got the front rooms, all your swords laid out, all your armor, and here's the turnip room, which is just full of random garbage that I haven't had time to sort yet.
Or for the side quest, your front yard is all of your like voice side quest, and the backyard is all of the dynamic ones that you get nonstop. You're just like, screw that garbage.
So yeah, that's nothing like how I play games, because I'd rather explore, but I have to be methodical. Otherwise, I'm going to miss stuff, I think, when I'm cutting the grass. But if we're comparing real life to video games, in real life, if I'm driving, sometimes I'll just turn off a street and see where it goes. And it usually ends up nowhere, but I'll try to find alternate routes just for the hell of it.
That's cool. That's
But
funny,
I know the tragedy it causes when you do that cutting grass.
That's a tragedy. Now, like my lawn, like obviously it's not constant grass too. It's like grass, roots. Like it's not like a really even green, whatever. But I haven't missed any section. But it's more of like, okay, it's more of like, let's say if you could, here's a rectangle, right? If I start top right or whatever, I'll be like, I initially start to plan and go, you know what, I'm going to go like this, down here, and go around and just keep making my way in, right? But what happens is I go here, and then I'm like, and then I'm like, come down here,
I bet you're really good at coloring.
Oh, man, remind me, my mom just recently found a cardboard box that has tons of old stories I wrote, like, as a really little kid. And I have, like, choose your own adventure books and stuff. I have one about, like, a NASCAR driver or something like that. It's so stupid. Remind me, I need to read that sometime. It's a really, really short.
Well, you say a NASCAR driver, choose your own adventure. Will you turn right? Yes, you're dead.
But like, I used to make tons of books because always the choose your adventure books. For some reason, I always loved reading them because I always liked reading the random death endings. They were always like horrible, like getting eaten by a yeti or something like horrible, or like quicksand. So all my books or like stories, they always generally had pretty bad death endings. I don't know if I have it anymore, but there's one about going to like a circus and like I think somebody got like squashed by an elephant or something like that. They're just so random.
That turns dark
but my
really
mom
fast.
loved them.
The Dark Souls of Choose Your Own Adventure books.
You are dead. Well, that's basically the topic. That was about it. Write in to casualshenanigans@gmail.com and let us know if your mowing connects and equals to how you play games.
And make sure to put in the subject Joel so we know to ignore it. Joel will read them all.
In my chat, Nathan asks, will mowing be more fun than gaming to future kids? I do not think so, unless all mowing can be done in pleasant weather conditions, which is not when the grass tends to grow the most.
Is there a mowing simulator game where like you don't farm but you just mow?
Grass mowing simulator.
I feel like that would
Grass
be
farming simulator. You can cut grass in farming simulator.
Oh, okay. So no one's made it a fully.
In Roblox, there's Lawn Mowing Simulator 2014. Farming Simulator has a lot of mods for grass mowing.
Huh. Hey, okay, could you imagine doing that? You're an official like guy who mows like giant farmland, and then you go back to relax and mow it in game. Like, oh man. Oh.
So, the work thing is resolved now.
That's good. That makes for riveting podcast talk.
It does. Would you like to know why the thing broke? Why everything broke?
Sure.
Someone misspelled a URL on the CDN address.
Ah.
People get cut for stuff like that. Exactly.
Big boy job.
Hey, it's none of my people. Joel, you have a job tomorrow. Don't worry.
Light a cigarette, put it in just out of your cheek.
My cheek? What about their cheek?
And that's what I meant, like their cheek.
Oh, okay, I was going to
your
say,
cheek.
Look how tough I am.
I mean, you went like this. You went,
I don't even care.
you're putting it yourself.
Well, I was trying to show that it was on the cheek, like, 'cause there's no cheek here.
Is there?
Is there?
This is cheap.
Is there? Huh?
Deathbat asks, what sort of music do you listen to when you game, other than in-game music? Does anybody here listen to music while they game?
No, I hate that.
All right.
I
Yeah.
do.
What do you listen to, Joel?
Well, Battlefield 1, I got rid of the crappy music instantly, and I was all Lawrence of Arabia, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade music.
Battlefield
Well,
1 has an
I think
excellent soundtrack. I listen to it on Spotify all the time. It's excellent.
Yeah, it's like Michael Bay. That's what it is.
It's partially
it's-
orchestra.
I know, but it's still like it's just so high octane for what's going on. It's always like, yeah, I'm going over a cliff, and it's like, no.
Have you listened to the Battlefield 1 soundtrack?
Yeah, I have. I mean, unless they changed a lot of stuff, but
I mean,
the stuff I've listened to is
Joel,
okay.
there's a lot of beautiful music in the nice voice crack. There's a lot of beautiful music in the Battlefield 1 soundtrack. I don't feel like as somebody who likes good music, I don't think you're giving it its due.
No, not at all. The title track is pretty intense, but it's the Battlefield theme. Like, beyond that, there's a lot of very slow-paced stuff.
I don't know. It just plays like the same track over and over, though, a lot when you play the game.
In game, you hear the same track a whole lot, but if you go on Spotify, Joel, and bring up the Battlefield 1 official playlist, there's like 40-some tracks, and they are really, really good. And actually, I think the DLC music is even better. The music for the French DLC and the Russian DLC is incredible. It's thematically appropriate, it's period appropriate, and it's really, really well done.
I usually just don't like listening to game music, though.
Depending on, I don't really listen to music while I play games. If I'm playing a game like Wildlands, I'm just going around collecting weapons or something, I'll sometimes listen to podcasts. I've done that in The Witcher some too, when I'm just, doing side quests and whatever, where like,
The boring.
well, when you're
side
when you're
quests.
swimming for treasure chest out in the middle of Skellige forever, you can fit a podcast in. And occasionally I'll listen to like car podcasts while I play racing games. Once I used to I've put on earbuds and then headphones over them and then play games.
Headphone Inception. I made a whole Spotify playlist while I played Wildlands. It had like Sicario music. It had music from Jose Gonzalez. Yeah.
Jose Gonzalez seems like a very big jump from the Sicario soundtrack.
Well, I have couple different playlists. I have one for just like exploring music.
Oh,
and I have
okay.
more like battle music.
Oh, I imagine it's going from the Sicario right to Heartbeats by Jose Gonzalez.
Yeah.
It's like,
Ding,
all right.
ding, 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 ding.
All right, you guys ready to get into what
I
you
didn't
played?
get the answer. Hold on.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So the only thing I've ever listened to while playing a game is the Fallout soundtrack when playing other games. I'm trying to recreate that
Yeah, I've done
experience.
that.
Do you guys remember when the original Xbox was out and they had that cool feature where you could play your own music from your hard drive? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I never did that, but that was cool. I used to sing when Joel and I were playing Dark Souls. Oh, when the saints were marching in. And then I'd die.
No, then you'd hear me get quiet and you know something bad's
You're
coming.
like, oh shit. You're like,
So,
Dave's a purist.
yeah, Dave, have you ever listened to anything that's not the game when you're playing the game?
Man. I mean, I listened to Joel's Lawrence of Arabia soundtrack during one match of Battlefield 1. That was fun. Like, it fit well. Then I went back to the in-game music, which is just fine and quite good at times. They do play the same tracks a lot. I think a lot of the music from the OST for Battlefield 1 is just in the single player, which sucks because it's incredible. Man, I really can't think of any game where I listen to music. To me, like, I want to hear the developer's vision of the music. I want to hear what they did.
So being a purist with that, so that's why I have a hard time installing any kind of mods that take away from the actual direct developer's vision.
What about ones that add to it?
I know, but you're adding not to the vision that they had.
I can tell when you don't actually believe in what you're saying and you're just trolling, Joel.
I think he was trying to. It was a weird thing to word, though. I think he was trying to figure out how to word.
Exactly.
That doesn't. Don't not do that. No.
I can tell when you're trolling, Joel, like you're trying to talk your way through it, but you're like, what are they gonna bite on? What are they gonna go for? Woo.
I mean, any game that I play, I'll play it for a while without mods. I think
Dude, Fallout, you played without mods for maybe like an hour. The first night.
Fallout, I played probably for a week without mods. And
He had a mod that actually stripped it down into vanilla. The vanilla mod.
Yeah, because me, James, and I think John, we were all playing Fallout. Or no, it was Jeremiah. Maybe it was not John. I don't think because he's not in Fallout. We were all playing like at midnight, and I think
that was
Dave,
the launch.
Yeah,
wasn't it?
Dave didn't even get out of the freaking vault by the time we played for like 2.5 hours.
I was exploring.
That was actually pretty cool, though. All of us going up the elevator at the same time.
It was.
Yeah.
It was. Most of us going up the elevator at the same time.
But no, as far as Fallout mods go, I mean, for the first probably month of the game, all I installed were mods that made very small tweaks. Like Bethesda had a flashlight on the Pip-Boy originally that cast shadows, and they turned it off for performance reasons. So I had a mod that turned it back on. I had a mod that unlocked the settlement limits. Like it was just very small tweaks. I didn't start adding additional mods until like a month after the game came out. But
damn, when they started coming out, you were getting
I still
them all.
have. I think I have 100% lore-friendly mods still. Like, out of the 170 some I have installed, they're all lore-friendly.
I'm sorry, I was
Yeah.
reading the chat.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember that?
The day before launch when we tricked Joel into thinking we had Fallout early.
Oh yeah, because did you all change Steam or something like that?
We added a custom game to Steam. I
I was so pissed because I was like, we were all gonna play at midnight.
That's what you were mad about.
I just remember recording
And now Dave really gets
the
them for
audio
real.
of one of the foulest things you have ever said when you found out. Like, I can't even allude to what you said on air.
I don't even remember what I said. It must have been in full-on rage.
Yes.
Raging.
Full-on raging.
Raging anger.
Dicks. I was so
Oh,
pissed.
come
I was
on. You like stuff like that, though. After,
Oh no,
after
I
you
did,
got
but
over it.
oh man, and I'm now remembering the feeling of like, oh yeah, because I planned the whole night getting ready to play midnight. We're all on early. I'm like, ah. To me, it's torrenting shit. Like it just pisses me off because I'm like, I used my hard-earned money to buy that movie. It's like I just downloaded and watched last night. I'm like, dang you! Like I gotta wait for a whole day to watch.
We said
it.
we were given press keys. That's what we said.
Yeah, I know, but it just felt.
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
we ever tried to get Joel. Remember the press key we made for him?
Oh yeah.
You were so gullible. Do you remember that?
John, I would have done. James, I would have done anything for Fallout at the time.
That was the actual key. Like if you did all the figure out what it said you were so gullible or something like that.
Dang it! It's not working.
It's okay, man. We accept you.
Because we have
Oh, we
to.
need to be accepted.
So anyway, it's now time for What Are You Playing This Week? A part of the show where we talk about the games we've been playing this week. I really haven't played anything of consequence. I played like a Battlegrounds match, played some Arma 3, and played a little bit of Wildlands with Joel. But that's it. Nothing new or interesting or exciting. But who'd like to go first?
I'll go first.
All right.
So I played one of the campaigns of Resident Evil 6, continuing the tradition of playing through the Resident Evil games.
All right.
It was okay. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, but it was definitely more of an action game than a explore and uncover secrets type thing.
Right.
But the other game I just got this week was... What the hell's the game called? What's the game called, Joel, that we were just talking about? The Echo Shadow Colossus...
Last Guardian?
Last Guardian. I don't know why I couldn't remember that name. So I started playing that this week.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
It's a really it's a beautiful game. Like I think it does a good job tying in emotionally. But one thing I was surprised by is that any of the previews or trailers really didn't give away a lot of the mechanics of the game.
Oh yeah.
I think within the first hour of the game, it was like, oh, they didn't show any of that. So this is all kind of a pleasant surprise.
There's a lot of surprises coming.
Although the performance is not great. I don't know if it's any better on the PS4 Pro, but there were some times where there wasn't enough motion blur to cover for the 10 frames per second.
Yeah, it ran fine on my Pro. have to let me know if you get through it. I think it's about maybe a 12-hour game, maybe.
And we did play Players Unknown Battlegrounds.
Battlegrounds, yeah.
That was a good game.
It is a good game. We had a good game.
We had a couple really good games last week.
Good in the sense that they were fun, not necessarily good in the sense that like we cleaned up a whole bunch. Although we did get that chicken dinner the other night.
I mean, you were dead, but the rest of us did pretty well.
It was a team effort.
I died right behind the wall.
James, you went down so many times that last section. You're like, all right, guys, I think I'm gonna make it. The wall got me again. Like you couldn't catch a break that last part. Oh man. I'm going to give Shane an honorary shout out for what are you playing this week, because for him the answer is nothing, because his computer caught on fire during Armon one day.
Yeah, it really sucks.
Has
he narrowed it down? Like, Shane, have you tried another PSU yet? I thought you said you were going to like try to.
He got a new PSU. His graphics card wouldn't work. Did you see that in the chat?
I did not.
So it would not boot until he took his GPU out
with the new power supply.
Yep.
So it fried both.
Possibly.
So everyone listening out there, pour one out for Shane's GPU.
Oh, Shane, that sucks.
Rest in peace.
What? I don't understand that phrase. Like, why would you pour out a drink?
It's like the missing man formation, where like they have the formation of planes and like one's missing. Like it's like pouring out a drink for someone that can't drink one themselves.
Oh.
The drink symbolizes one which should have been enjoyed by the person who's not there.
Exactly.
Okay. I always thought it meant you're like meaning to say like pouring out, like pour one into a cup and take a drink, like like cheers, like cheers,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
a toast or something. But I was like, pour one out. I was like, why are you wasting whiskey?
It's for someone who couldn't drink it themselves.
That makes sense.
Kind
Unlike
of sad now, right?
unlike
Yeah.
cracking open a cold one with the boys, which is just a meme. Anyway,
I'll go next, I guess. I'm playing a new strategy game this week. I can't say what just yet. You guys will find out tomorrow.
Mr. Famous YouTuber. Oh. Sorry.
Speaking of YouTube, didn't you hit a milestone?
Oh yeah, I completely forgot. I've been so tired this week. Unrelated. No, it's definitely related. Yeah, I hit 100,000 subscribers this week.
Nice, man. Congratulations.
So it's been a long time coming. It's funny because I don't really. I'm excited. Don't get me wrong, but like I've been putting 100,000 subscriber levels of like effort into the channel for like 3 years now. So like I don't really feel that different. I mean, I told Jeremiah and Joel the money that I put into the last, I guess it's the upcoming Backyard Battlefield video. Like that is so far in the red that like the IRS is sweating. They don't even know about it yet. Yeah. But yeah. Thanks for the support, guys. It's exciting to actually be here finally. Yeah, I'm playing a new strategy game. I've already put almost 7 hours into it. It's so good. It's dangerous. Okay, all I can say is, like Age of Empires, this strategy game has eras. I've put almost 7 hours into one game, and I'm still in the first era of like, I don't know, 5 or 6. So this is like the first scenario that I'm playing in the game. First era, 7 hours just learning the game. I haven't advanced the time period just yet.
Do I know what game this is?
Yes, you do. I've been telling you about it all week.
Okay. Oh, okay. I was gonna say like I was thinking. Listen, I was thinking of something else. Okay.
Shower with your dad simulator?
Pulling the water.
Yeah, I was like, what's that? The shower bell?
Sometimes you can call it that.
The water's hot.
Continuing on with what I'm playing this week, the Battlefield 1 DLC launched for everyone this week in the name of the Tsar. I've played, I think, like at least a half an hour every day this week, but it's been so frustrating because I've been, again, so tired this week that it's been more like rage playing. Like, I play for a while, don't do great, get really angry.
Not enjoying this.
Yeah, and so I just get angry and keep playing until I have like a really, really good match, and I just quit angrily, but still satisfied. So I'm looking forward to playing some this weekend when I'm getting
That
some
sounded
sleep.
like many nights of playing Rocket League.
Basically, it's like hate playing. It's like, I know I'm good at this game. Where is it?
We gotta end it a win, guys. God.
I mean, you're not winning in real life because you feel like crap the next day, but you won that last game of Rocket League at 2 o'clock in the morning. I also got into the Battlefield 1 Incursions closed alpha test, which is their competitive 5v5 mode, which is getting some pretty exciting reviews so far. And I'm actually split on this because I think any competitive mode, like, it's cool. Like a small, focused mode sounds awesome. But I'm actually a big fan of Battlefield 4's brief competitive scene before it launched that I would participate in London. The idea, I think, of a 32 versus 32 conquest match, because that's what makes Battlefield unique, is, you know, in the name, Battlefield. I love the concept of that. It's just, in a competitive setting, like, no one's going to make esports teams of 32 players with, like, pilots and tank drivers and stuff, literally just for non-existent Battlefield competitions. Like, there's no organization behind that level of scope of a game. I just think it would be so cool if that could actually be some of the competitive scene too, is the bigger games, because that brief competitive scene in Battlefield 4 was amazing, where it's like, you know, I went to London and met players who was like, oh, you know, for the American team, these two guys are our jet pilots. This guy's the fighter pilot, this guy's the attack plane pilot. And like, just hearing them communicate and hearing our team leaders talk to them, like, basically I saw the potential of the esports scene for 64 player conquest. It's just, it's never going to be a thing. It's just, it's too big, too much organization. But anyway, Incursions, I'm hoping to try it soon. I've heard it's quite good. 5v5 competitive. And bone to pick with Wildlands, actually. I played like an hour on Saturday, and I accidentally hit the DLC button, not realizing that I had the DLC on the main menu. And it launched me into the first DLC, Narco Road, with no warning, with just one click. Like, loaded the game, swapped to a new character creation, all the intros. Literally, it was a half an hour of intros and character creation because I clicked the wrong thing. I was like, all right, I'll just check it out. And honestly, even though I was expecting to not like the concept at all, I like the concept. I think they did a good job with the concept. It actually fits the world quite well. But besides the one-click UI not being great, I found two frustrating things with it in the half hour that I actually played in the DLC. First of all, I lowered the difficulty from the very hard to just, I guess, the medium or whatever, because while very hard works well in the main game, where you have to take a slower, stealthier approach, in the DLC, they're like literally telling you, take this monster truck with nitro and smash through things while shooting everything that moves. And I just found the difficulty to be really annoying, where if your truck got stuck on something, you just get massacred by enemies. So I just put it on medium just so I could, you know, play more Shenanigans, like, I guess. It just seemed like it fit the DLC better to just not have the hardcore difficulty set. But I failed the first mission because I died to a bunch of enemies, respawned, followed the objective marker, and it was a different mission. Like, I was halfway through a mission, respawned, and it was a totally different mission. Showed up at what I thought was like a blow up this SAM site location, and it was like a follow this helicopter mission instead. Like, it automatically picked for me instead of the story mission that I was on. So I ran to this base, much bigger than the one I was expecting that I had died at, died again, super confused, respawned somewhere else, went to the marker again, a third totally different mission. I don't know what it's doing, but I am completely lost now. So I just like set it aside. I'm like, all right, that's enough. I'll try again later. But yeah, so Narco Road so far, actually surprisingly liking the concept. Horrible user interface and mission interface, very confusing. I don't know what it's doing. That's what I was playing this week. I already talked about Alien Isolation last week, right?
Yeah, and you're done. You're done. You've paid your penance.
You beat the game.
Just
kidding.
Freaking Medical Center. Yeah, I might actually try to just get past the Medical Center just to see if I can, because I've heard that is one of the hardest difficulty spikes in the game.
You could always go back into, you could go back into 2D.
I mean, yeah, I might do that just to focus on like actually beating the area, just because I feel like I'm gonna die like another Dark Souls level amount of times trying to get to the Medical Center.
Cool. Joel, what about you?
I have played some Battlegrounds with Eggert quite a bit. And I've played, I think I played a ridiculous amount of Skyrim the other day. It was so good. I finished the Brotherhood of...
On
Dark, no,
Switch?
the Dark
Is it on
Brother,
Switch
not
yet?
the Brother. No.
You're just playing on like PS4?
Oh, my PS4 Pro, yeah. I've just been it's Yeah, it runs really well, and it's just having a blast. I
Are you gonna play it again when?
No, like the sucky part is like I want to try it on the Switch because it sounds awesome, but I'm not gonna. I don't want. I'm not restarting again from it. Like I only got it on PS4 Pro because like it had been a long time. I had done like maybe I'd say 80 hours of the game when it first came out, and I just kind of plowed through the main story, and that was about it. And I didn't really do that much more. But this time I'm like just absolutely loving it, and I'm like over 120 hours in, and I'm just kind of. It's been like my good a steady back burner game where I just like always are like I'll play Battlegrounds and then I'll come back to Skyrim.
What about when VR comes out?
I will rebuy Skyrim absolutely for VR. Even I have to start from the start. I don't think I will like play through 100 hours of like Skyrim again on it, but I would do it to try it. What I'm hoping, really hoping, and they haven't announced it yet or anything, so who knows? But it'd be amazing if it worked like Resident Evil, where you can just play 2D or play VR, because I hope it can I can copy over my save files to continue where I'm at. That would be amazing. Because I mean, I don't want to replay from the scratch again. But I will do it because I want to experience VR. But it would be so cool if I could just continue where I'm at. That would be amazing. But I don't know how that's gonna work. So
did I tell you I played through? Go ahead.
Also, with all the different platforms Skyrim's been released on, wouldn't it be cool if there was just like a cloud save for your actual progress where it could just transfer from thing to thing to thing?
Because that's something I thought would have been cool, because I do own Skyrim on PC. It'd be cool to just like, oh, you're playing on PC? All right, I'm going downstairs. I'm playing on PS4. Oh, I'm going to go play on the Switch. Like, if Bethesda made a way to transfer my save files to Switch, I would buy the game in an instant. Because it would just be cool to like, oh, I could just continue playing the game. I don't care graphical quality. I just want to play it here, play it there, you know? Play it in my underwear.
I mean, with the Switch, you can even play it in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Your favorite place. Apparently.
No, I mean, it's funny, having a Switch, almost every game that comes out now, like, I'm like, man, it'd be awesome if that was on the Switch. Like, that would work really well. Like, the Gwent game, be perfect for the Switch. Like, absolutely perfect.
I would love that. I might buy a Switch for Gwent. I would be playing again.
It would just be such a cool portable game. Like RTS games, like Age of Empires, something like that. To play it on the Switch would be super cool, just to carry it with you. Because of how snappy the interface is, you're into the game. Like, you know, like the PlayStation VR, you know, has a sleep mode thing. I'll keep, like, Wildlands in the background. I'll turn it on. I'm in the game. That'll take, like, 10 seconds. Dude, Nintendo Switch, it's literally 1 second and you're back in the game. And it's that, like, knowing you have that for Skyrim to go, oh, let me do a little, like, there is no delay whatsoever of turning on a TV. It's like, it's all there, 1 second, and you're playing a game. So it's like, oh man, it's actually very tempting to try to buy, or to wait to buy games. Like, what's that one, Ukulele? I'm still waiting for it to come out on the Switch, because it feels like it belongs on the Nintendo. Like, I know it's out on PS4 and PC and all that kind of stuff, but I'm like, I want to wait for it to play it on Switch, because I feel like it'd be such a cool game to play on a Nintendo. That's about it.
You should try Splatoon sometime, just for the heck of it.
I played the beta. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
My son has played so many hours.
Does he have an amiibo for it?
Yeah, he has. He's got. I don't know if he has the new. He didn't have the newest amiibos. He's got one of the first generation Splatoon amiibos.
That's cool.
All right. It is now time for the news.
News time!
Who's got the first item?
Me, nice and simple. There is a this link goes to the Forbes main page instead of the story.
Forbes.
Anyway, there's a Call of Duty open beta coming to Steam for PC players. And it's open to everybody. No pre-orders, no anything. You just download the game and play. Joel and I played it at E3, and it was quite a bit of fun. I tore up with an Xbox controller, by the way, like first of the team several times. So,
when does it come out, the beta?
The 29th. I'm remembering the article that I can no longer open the link to. So yeah, I think it's the 29th through the 3rd.
Someone in chat said the 2nd earlier.
Okay.
But somewhere around that. I mean, that weekend.
So make sure we plan ahead, guys. Let's definitely play some, seeing it's open to everybody. It was definitely fun.
Cool.
I had the second item as well. speaking of Battlefield 1, as I do every week, they won an award this week from the Guinness Book of World Records. The Battlefield 1 announcement trailer from last May is now the most liked gaming-related video on YouTube. It beat out all of the Call of Duty trailers and all the GTA 5 trailers. Literally every gaming video, they have the record for the most likes. And they got a whole bunch of official certificates. So congrats to the DICE team, their trailer team, which is, holy crap, like 9 people now on the trailer team.
Just to record trailers.
Yeah, I think it's like their video team, so probably like DLC, like website background videos and stuff like that. But yeah, their video team is 9 people, looks like.
Cool. Very cool. All right, so if you remember a recent topic where we were talking about stupid packages for games, or stupid, like, what'd you call it? Stupid versions of the game you could buy for too much money, and there was the $800 Assassin's Creed one. Well, we got a new one. Batman Arkham Knight came out in 2015, but Prime 1 is making a 33-inch statue. It's based on the Batman Beyond skin from the game, and they're only making 350 of them, which is why it's $939 for a Batman statue. It's a cool looking statue.
Kind of cool.
Yeah, but
How
it's
big is this thing? It looks huge.
33 inches, but it's $1,000. It's a lot. Anyway, next news item. Not that previous one was really news, but Doom is coming to the Nintendo Switch. And so at a recent press event, Polygon reported that it ran at a mostly smooth 30 frames per second. They were only demoing it in handheld mode, but it'll be at least 720p when it's plugged into a TV. The AV Club noted that the game's visuals aren't quite what they used to be, but it still feels good. The visuals are noticeably less detailed, but that's hardly a problem for a game that prizes motion and a fugue state-like stream of ceaseless violence above all else. More importantly, it felt like Doom with all the speed and physicality intact, despite the Switch version's downgrade from the silky smooth frame rate of the original release. So, that's cool.
That's really cool. That's an awesome
Now, Joel,
move in the right direction.
You didn't play Doom, correct?
Yeah.
Would you consider it on the Switch? For like
Honestly, possibly, yeah.
Because it's a long game, and that's a sick first-person shooter you could just bring along with you.
I know. Like, I know there are plans to bring what's the other game?
Wolfenstein 2?
Yeah, Wolfenstein. Like, that is awesome because Bethesda throwing money into getting their game working on that. It's funny because it really reminds me of, honestly, like some of like the older days of gaming where you'd get AAA games on these extremely low end, graphics just to make it work. Like, it was kind of amazing seeing what they could do even in like arcade machines and stuff like the like no specs. But I think it's awesome because it's really hard to judge a Nintendo Switch graphics normally like you would on anything else because it is a full handheld. You know what I mean? Like it's really different. It's kind of like, oh yeah, sure, the graphics are lower, but can you bring your Battlefield computer with you anywhere? No, you can't. But like imagine having Battlefield on that thing. Like just I can take it anywhere and play it anywhere I want. Like that's pretty freaking awesome. So that'll be cool to see if it sells well. If they're gonna bigger games like Assassin's Creed. Like I would love that actually. Like especially now that Assassin's Creed games are getting bigger and bigger. It's kind of like, you know what, I wouldn't mind playing because I just set it near my bed, and anytime I'll just pick it up and continue, like that.
Well, I mean,
cool.
Yeah, a decent looking game that you can take anywhere with you is going to work for a lot of people over a incredible game that can only be played in one place. Like even if it's a not as good version of Doom, the fact that you can play a real first-person shooters, where it doesn't feel like, oh, this is the baby design that we did.
This is not the PSP. This is not the PSP version of NBA 2K. You know what I mean? Like you always felt like, or like even on Nintendo DS, when you get AAA games that would convert down to Nintendo DS, you were always getting the like 2D version of it, right?
Yep.
Like when you got a Nintendo first-party game, you were getting a first-party AAA game. But like this is kind of like, oh, you want to play Skyrim? Oh, it's the same Skyrim. It's not like a dumbed-down, like 2D version of Skyrim that meant to simulate Skyrim. You know what I mean? It's actually the game. So I think that's really cool. I can't wait to see what they're gonna do. But apparently, like, I think it sounds like they think they could sell 130 million of these things. I think by 2020 something. It was kind of crazy. I was like, holy crap. It's gonna be, because I mean, like, how do you deny that? Like, when you have a system that many out there, you're gonna make your game for it. You know, you're gonna want to put your system on it. It doesn't matter what it takes to dumb down the graphics. You want to get your system, your game on it, because you know the PS4 has, I don't know what it is, like 60 million or whatever it is. Xbox gets like, and then you have PC. Why not add in another one that people have? You know, you're gonna have 50, 60 million consoles out there. Might as well, because you're going to get people like me who double dip, like, oh yeah, sure, I'll go and play that game. Maybe I didn't play very far on the PS4 and I didn't enjoy it, but you know what? On the Nintendo Switch, how quickly and lightning fast it is to just like turn it on and you're playing. Yeah, I think that's worth buying it again. Like, oh yeah, LA Noire. Did you see that? That's coming out for it too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, that's a pretty legit game, like, coming on the Nintendo Switch. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I wasn't a huge fan of the game, but like, still, that's a major game coming on a tiny little handheld, so that's cool.
Joel, we're only a month and a week away.
Month and a week away. From what?
Super Mario Odyssey.
Oh yeah, man, is that really coming out that soon?
Yep.
Oh, it's so nice. I have you played any more Zelda, James?
No, I haven't.
I got to play a lot on vacation last week, and I just finished these 4 areas that you had to complete, but there's so much left to do, and it is just such a fun game. I'm getting ready to go to Hyrule Castle now.
Oh, nice.
I'm doing the Trials of the Sword thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's really fun, and it's 100% Dark Souls of Zelda. You start with, you go into this little cave and you get nothing, so you're like literally just shirtless and don't even have a sword or nothing. So you just have to like grab a rock, kill the first little enemies, and you clear waves, right? So I think there's like 10 waves, and then you are able to like cook food and stuff, but it's like 100% survival mode. It's really cool. And if you die once, you're all the way back at the start, so you really have to be careful. It's pretty cool. But you do that, you're trying to like, I think upgrade the Master Sword to its like rightful power or something like that. It's pretty cool. So I'm doing that first before I go to Hyrule.
All right. Next news item. There is a Dark Souls the board game. Do you remember there was a Kickstarter?
Yeah, I wanted to actually kickstart it. I just didn't have the money at the time.
Well,
this looks awesome.
It's $105.
This looks so cool.
Oh, no, it's $120. It was $105 in the Kickstarter apparently. So apparently, according to Ars Technica, it's interesting. So Dark Souls the board game mimics the actual games as much as possible while trying to differentiate itself. You can balance stamina against health points like you can in the actual game. But unfortunately, people say that like computers, this is what Ars Technica says, computers do all the number crunching for you, while direct tabletop ports tend to involve piles of finicky bookkeeping. This becomes apparent when you encounter monsters on your first darkened board tile. One card tells you what to place on each of the little glowing nodes, chest, barrels, mobs, and treasure, while more cards tell you how each of the monsters behave. Much of the game depends on how you deploy your heroes before an encounter starts. Make sure charging skeletons can't hit you on the first turn, for instance. So it sounds like you really like, of course you're not going to have the speed and fluidity of a Dark Souls game is not going to be in the board game version. But they say that there's bosses and there's mega bosses and whatever. But it's a little bit hard to read and understand at times. And while they've tried to translate the game into a board game, they say there's a lot of grinding and it's not as much fun as they hoped it was going to be. But I still thought it's
randomly, like your real world frames per second slows down really a lot.
You're like, you've entered Blighttown. Why can't I see?
Speaking of Dark Souls, did you guys see that video I put in the chat the other week or the other day? I think it was like several days ago.
I don't know.
It was about Dark Souls?
No, it was a Mario clone. Anyway, moving on.
Okay. Can you tell us about it now?
It's something you watch.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that's fine. All right, and then Joel, did you put this last item in?
I did, yeah. The Wildlands Ghost War PvP beta is out now. I think for 3 days. So I think it's out on all systems right now. Just go to Ubisoft or somewhere and you can download it. So yeah, I'm excited to try it. The reviews are in there saying it's really fun. Actually, I'm excited. I'm gonna try it after this.
All right. It's now time for mail time.
I always think you say it's mail time. It's now mail time for mail time. Or it's mail. Wait, like now, but you're saying mail. Ah.
I'm not. I'll be honest, man. I'm not really sure.
It's mail time for mail time.
I don't know what that means.
Because when you say now, like it's now, it's telling it sound like you're saying mail a little bit.
What? Do you pronounce those two words differently?
I don't know. It just sounded. Yeah, maybe.
Do you say I deliver mail because I'm a male? Do you say those words differently?
I don't know. It's mail time. I don't know.
All right. So anyway,
It's mail time
so
because I'm a melee.
So Johnny wrote in to casualshenanigans@gmail.com to be a part of the show, just like you can. And he says, "Hey, gentlemen. Well, the Ghost Recon Wildlands beta launched for multiplayer, and to be blunt, it could be better. I'm currently communicating with devs on where it could be better, but here's my first go at putting it out to others. I should point out that also listed in my email is a post on the beta forums. Don't mind the point where I had to remind someone that we're still in beta. Blah, blah, blah. So
What did he
basically,
write?
well, no,
Your
I'm
eyes
just
are getting big,
skimming.
like whoa.
No, I'm just skimming a couple of things. He said basically people are just like complaining in the forum post about some people are like, oh, well, we understand it's a beta. They're trying to test it out. They're going to tweak balances and stuff after this. Other people are just dumping on the game nonstop because they're like, oh, well, the beta's crap, blah, blah, blah. So here's the question at the end. It's because he's very irritated by his interactions in the forums, trying to give constructive feedback to the developers, which is what the betas are for. So how do you guys feel about beta access, i.e. beta codes for games, what to do with them, how to be effective using them, how not to waste it, etc.? And I thought that was interesting because we've kind of talked about this before, but it feels like betas are really treated as modern demos now, but those are really two very different things. Like betas and demos are not the same thing. They're not supposed to be, but do you guys feel like betas are treated like demos by developers or publishers now?
In a lot of cases, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
And I think even more so, the customers, the players, treat them like betas and demos, even when they're not. Example, just this week, where Battlefield 1 had that huge amount of server lag going on the CTE, they had like a special patch they were testing. They're like, guys, we want to put this patch out by Thursday at 6 p.m. on Tuesday. Can you guys fill up this one test server? And like 20 people showed up out of 60. Like, well, we got some data, but you guys, no one really showed up. And someone replied to their Reddit post and said, well, maybe you guys put like a new map or something up. Like, guys, we're not testing new maps. We're trying to test this patch. But like, people wanted new content to like play with. They didn't want to just test a technical patch. So I think a lot of times the players treat it like just a demo too.
Yeah, and it seems like the beta is usually treated as it's 3 weeks before the game launches. Let's see how it is. But I mean, Ghost Recon Wildlands had a lot of changes between beta and the actual game release, and they were good changes that it needed because, I mean, in beta, it was rough. I'm trying to think what other notable games. Battlefield 4 very famously had a much better beta than the launch of the game, given that you can't win them all. Yeah, I think beta access is good. I don't like that beta access is so frequently like restricted to pre-orders, because then people treat it as like it's a bonus for you buying the game early, as you get to get in and play a broken or potentially broken version of the game. And I think they treat that as like a bonus, where I think a true beta should be everybody pile on and just try to break a bunch of stuff, or they do some other way of like filtering things out so you're only getting the right people. I don't know. I don't think that proper expectations are set with customers, and I think they use them as an excuse instead of doing a demo. Now, demo is a lot of extra work, so I understand why people don't always want to do demos, but I don't think it's a good idea for betas to be demos.
I agree.
Anybody else have any conflicting thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I hate that you have to like pre-order stuff to have a beta. Like when you have a beta 2 days earlier than everyone else has a beta, it's just like, man, really grasping. I think for creating a like worth. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, I don't know. It's like the dumbest. It's funny. It's so dumb. Like 10 years ago, if you were to show, I think, a gamer like what what bonuses you get for buying the game, or you have Watch Dogs 2, the basic version, Watch Dogs 2, the Diamond, the Crystal, the Legendary version. You'd be like, what the heck? Why can't I just get like a cheat code and get those things when I play the game? You know, it's funny. Like, but we're so used to it now. It's kind of like, oh man, if I pre-order, I can have the beta. Ooh. Okay.
Now, it's now time for 90 Seconds with Joel, a part of the podcast where Joel talks about whatever he wants for basically however long he wants. So, Joel, what do you got for us this week?
So, when I was mowing... no, I don't really have much this time, but I do have some trash news.
Okay.
I've been emailing back and forth with my contact, who said his dad is a garbage man or garbage truck. I don't think he's. I actually, and I wrote him questions specifically asking, like, what is your specific role? Like, define what you do on a day-to-day basis. So I was going back and forth with him trying to see, like, hey, could
you ever keep any of the trash?
That's a good question. I should have actually asked that.
Is it?
Yeah, actually, kind of interesting. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So anyway.
So you are you saying you wouldn't find it interesting if you found out if like 50% of like garbage men like actually go, oh, that's, I kind of want that. I mean, like you go to like flea markets or stuff where you go to like
I've
yard
dumpster
sales.
dived. I don't have any pride.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Flippantly say, oh, why would you want to ask that question? I would really want to know. Like, oh yeah, perfectly nice couch. That's mine. But so anyways, I've been emailing them, and he's going to be recording his dad audio answering the questions, so we'll have that on the podcast soon. So how many months has this been in the making to try to get? It's been a while. But we pull through here at Casual Shenanigans to bring you the ripest, the newest, I don't know.
Okay,
Just
so
the
anyway.
ripest and newest.
All right. What's your next thing?
Another thing is I'm doing a Chipotle challenge. Well, Dave heard about this at work for a long time, so it's no news to these guys that I'm not a fan of Chipotle. Like I go because a lot of our friends, they love going there and whatever. But I went over there with John just recently, and I felt really bad the last couple times I've had it. I just like something doesn't settle with me. I don't know if there's something they changed in the ingredients or use a different oil or so. I don't know. But I just felt like actually a little sick after for the rest of the day.
Maybe you have an old man tummy now.
I'm sure I do. I mean, I'm turning 32 in October, so.
What? That got really sad.
But no. So, anyways, Giancarlo is. We were just having these debates because I'm like, I just don't think especially the chicken there. It just everything just seems so extra wet when I eat at Chipotle. I just don't like. Oh. It just seems like I'm always getting the bottom of the barrel chicken where all the water and like juice is down there, where it's just like extra soggy. So it's probably just it's either bad luck or I just don't like it, or I have a problem and I think everything is way too soggy when it really isn't. But anyways,
Joel likes that dry
well,
chicken.
I think is I don't like dry chicken. Okay, when Dave and I were at E3, right? We went to this amazing restaurant. I tried some. What would you call this? The steak, like the level of how rare it was. I don't know. Was that like medium well or well done or something like that?
It was medium well on the rare side, I'd say. It was like filet
medium well
mignon.
on the rare
That's
side?
the entire spectrum.
Sorry, medium on the rare side. Not
medium rare. Medium rare. Okay.
Yeah, I'm used to ordering medium well.
Would you say some pink or red?
Pink core with some red in the middle.
Okay, yeah, that's probably medium rare. Okay.
Yeah. And it was really delicious. Now we were at a restaurant.
Dude,
It was
my stomach just growled. I had dinner already,
It was
just thinking about
really good. I really enjoyed it. But again, my taste buds, I can enjoy also more well done stuff. And to me, I enjoy it. I like the taste of it. Right? That's just how it is. I know everyone's but you gotta have it more rare. That's how it is.
Nobody's doing that. That's fine.
No,
That's fine.
a lot of people. I'm not saying you guys do, but most people say like, dude, you gotta don't have it like well done. That's like you're screwing up the steak. But somehow I can enjoy it, right? So I understand it logically, but like for me, the taste is not my favorite. But I can enjoy it a little bit. I can enjoy it less than well done. I can enjoy it, but most of the time I've had it where we live. It's just I don't know. It's just I don't enjoy it, so I don't order that way. So, anyways, long story.
So the challenge.
Yeah. So the challenge is, I told Giancarlo I'll buy him Chipotle for lunch every day for 5 days if I get to pour a half cup of water over it every single time.
Why? Why would you do that?
Because I want him to get the experience that I feel like I'm having when I go to Chipotle. And it pleases me to know. Pleases me to know.
Let him get it. Let him get it. You got this, Joel. You got this. Just think about it. You don't have to say it out loud. Just run them over in your head.
It just pleases me.
It pleases you to no end.
Damn it! I knew it was close. Yeah, it pleases me to no end of just being able to. So I'm gonna bring in a measuring cup next week. But I hope he gets a lot of sour cream. Just like.
Oh, that's nasty. Why would you do that?
Oh, sour cream. I think I could do that. Like, I wouldn't enjoy it, but I could do it if there wasn't any sour cream. If there is watery sour cream in like a soup over the entire food, like little chunks of sour cream floating in like the gray water. Just...
Well, because Giancarlo already did the pizza challenge, and that made me that was a really great week. I had a really great week because every single time I'd be like, we were gonna get barbecue that week. He's like, oh yeah, that sounds good. And then I was like, don't you have pizza? He's like, oh yeah. He would forget it for a second. He's like, oh, back to pizza again, because it was breakfast, lunch, dinner, pizza. Oh, so funny. Oh man. Yeah. So anyways, I'm just doing that. So
now, Joel.
So is that real? What's the challenge of that?
He just has to eat it, yeah. Like he just has to eat Chipotle every day for lunch.
Is he getting a burrito or a bowl?
He's getting a bowl. He can have a burrito, but the thing with the burrito is if he assembles the burrito first, I pour the water into the burrito after he assembles the burrito. It's not pour the water over the bowl and then he packs it into a burrito wet. No, I get to pour the half cup over the burrito, like into it. So it's his choice, and he's good. He's good for it because he's not gonna try to he's gonna just go at it. He's not gonna try to squeeze the water out or nothing. He's just gonna eat it all soggy.
No foreplay at all.
Honestly, I'm really looking forward to it because I am just really stressed and it's been rough couple months. So this is something I'm really looking forward to.
Is ruining someone else's
pain.
Well, because he's so excited about it, and I'm excited about it for my own reasons. And he's like, but it's $40. I was like, no, just don't even think about that. You're gonna bring such joy to my heart. Every single day, I'm gonna look forward to it. I'm gonna have my half cup of water ready. Yeah.
You need to have
don't tell him, but I'm gonna have a half cup of LaCroix once.
Now, how long can he wait after you dump the water before he eats it?
He's got to eat it pretty much as soon as he's ready to eat. He can't just sit there and wait. He's got to eat it.
Can't let the rice absorb it all.
Yeah, he's not gonna try to cheat himself out of trying to make it a better experience somehow. He's just gonna do it.
All right.
But
now,
he always calls LaCroix just water, so essentially it's just water, and I'm gonna pour a half cup of LaCroix.
Joel, you should take all these expensive, cruel jokes and start a lawnmower fund. You'll pay it off in no time.
Now, Joel.
Yeah.
I owe you a story.
Oh, are you gonna tell that one?
Not the one from earlier today.
Oh, okay. Oh, but the other one. I do want to know that one. Yeah.
Okay. So, this came up a couple weeks ago. Joel, I don't. Did you ask like, has anyone ever peed in a bottle while driving or something? Like, how did this come up?
Yeah.
How did this come up?
I know. We were talking about, I think, the pee story that everyone, and I think I was just saying how I think everyone has some ridiculously embarrassing stories or weird stories, but are just not willing to just say it out loud. Okay. And then you were like, you know what? I have this one. I was like, huh.
All right. I don't know if this is even embarrassing. So here, I guess maybe if there's an embarrassing part, here's the embarrassing part. So ever since I was young, I have always had, people would call, I guess, a tiny bladder, but it's weird. The sensation of having to go to the bathroom, I don't know how this works for everyone else, but for me, it's not a linear progression of, I'm going to need to go to the bathroom. I'm going to need to go to the bathroom. Yeah, this is definitely happening. I should make plans. I should schedule the next 10 minutes around this. It's a logarithmic curve. It's an exponential curve of, I think I need to go to the bathroom. 5 minutes later. I have to go to the bathroom. Like,
I'm going to piss my pants.
Right. Like, it's always.
If I can intercede just for a second, James and Joel, do you agree with me? This fits his personality perfectly. Like, his bladder matches his emphatic personality.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's all or nothing.
Please write in. How does your bladder equal how you play games?
How often do you check your prostate?
Never. I'm not 30 yet. I don't have to. So it's always been the case my entire life. And you can imagine that can cause problems. I used to, when I worked 1 hour away from home, sometimes I'd get a soda right before I left work. And it all make me nervous because I'm like, if I drive home, I'm fine. If I get stuck in traffic, like if traffic starts, I would plan somewhere to bail off the highway and go to the bathroom preemptively just in case. Because when I know I need to go to the bathroom, and it's not like at work, sometimes I get lucky, but I mean, I've, everybody knows who the director is, like our friend. I have stood up and walked out of his office in the middle of a meeting before, like, hey, I got to go to the bathroom, and just left.
Have you ever left one of my meetings like that?
No.
Okay.
I've left for like.
You just left really fast, so.
I've left. There's been one or two times where like there's been an emergency or something.
Gotcha.
Emergency. There's been a thing that needs urgently attending to.
So if you drink a full, you're drinking a full LaCroix, how quick till you gotta?
That's the thing. You don't know. I started sipping one right when we started the podcast. All good. Starting to feel the tingles, just a little bit, but that's the thing.
That's a show, everybody.
When I have to go, when I have to go, it'll be like a 2-minute warning of it's time.
You just hear it turning, dun, 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 dun.
And it gets. And I don't know if this is a normal thing. Like when you have to go to the bathroom, how long can you guys hold it?
I can sleep for hours and stuff to use the bathroom.
Yeah, I could pretty much hold it the entire day if I wanted to.
What? No. Like, what if you drink like a soda? How long could you hold it?
I've drank probably 3 LaCroix during our podcast, gone to bed, and then used the bathroom in the morning.
Dave, what about you? I'm being really jealous right now.
Yeah, I drink a lot of water, but still, I have very efficient bathroom trips.
All right. Well, lucky all of you, because when I drink a morning coffee, I know that pretty much starts a 20-minute countdown.
20 minutes?
Yes. When I drink a soda, sometimes it's like an hour, but then if I drink a soda, I might then, or a beer or something, I'll go to the bathroom every 20 minutes for the next hour. Like, I know. So here's where we get into the story. Driving from where I grew up to where we live now, there is a patch of road where there are no gas stations or restaurants for about an hour, if you guys roughly know where I'm talking about. A lot of the time when we come back from visiting family, it's late at night. And this is always the devil's gambit I run is, do I stop midway and get coffee to help stay awake? Knowing that if I have to go to the bathroom, I have to make it 1 hour and 45 minutes until I get home because nothing's open. Or do I not get coffee and just stay tired? Well, the story in question, we're on the way back from visiting Shane when he was in America to visit us. And so we were driving 2 cars that day. One car had literally everybody else, and the other car had me. I don't know how that really worked out, but I'm in the Subaru following Dave's car, I believe. and Dave and his wife and John and Debbie, we're all in his car. So we're on that, we're on that road. We're coming back, and then I start to get the tingles. And I'm like, oh, no.
The tingles.
Well, 'cause I'm doing the math in my head. I'm like, well, you can kind of, and maybe this is something you guys aren't used to if you can just hold it as long as you want to. Because that's the thing. When I get, when I figure out it's time to go, it's not, I need to go to the bathroom in a few minutes. It's,
This makes a lot of sense because when we went, we took the trip for the Civil War thing.
And I had to stop like 3 times to go to the bathroom.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's not, I need to go to the bathroom in 20 minutes. It's, I will be going to the bathroom in 20 minutes. If everything works out.
It's good to know now because I won't be like, I think I can push it a little bit. Because most people can probably hold it a little bit longer. But now I know, in 20 minutes, my car is going to be full of pee.
Full. So I'm on the way back.
Your mouth.
And I've done this before. Like, I've pulled over on the sides of roads. I've turned down people's driveways. It looked like they had a long woodsy driveway. Like, I've gotten off of, exit ramps quickly.
How many people have looked from their house like, there's the old man in our front yard. He's peeing.
Hopefully nobody.
Yeah, who was that?
No, they wouldn't have to squint that much. So anyway. So I'm driving, and I start getting the tingles, and I start doing the mental math, and I'm like, the feeling is about here, distance about here. I was like, I'm not going to make it. And that's a sickening feeling. As soon as you get any of the other small bladder people out there, that when you get that feeling, it's like, oh no. Because now I got to go into disaster mode. You got to start doing all the tricks to prolong it. So there's various ones like you squeeze your legs really tightly, not together. Like you have to create pain somewhere else in your body to take away from the pain your bladder's now feeling. So you roll the window down, you got the music cranked, you're just pinching your fingers together like, ah!
Jeremiah pulls a buck knife out of the console.
So I'm using all the tricks and it's not working. And I'm like, I'm going to have to find a bathroom solution. Like, we're not going to make it.
I mean, you couldn't just pee right off the side of the road.
Well, this was on a highway. So I was like, I can't.
Oh, okay.
It's illegal.
Yeah, sure.
And it's at night. I was like, I need a good place to pull over. So I'm thinking, okay, I need to find a road that looks like I can pull over on the road and there will be something. I was like, maybe there's an exit. Maybe there's a gas station off of an exit. Like, let's start thinking options. There aren't any options. I push for 10 minutes and I'm still falling behind Dave's car. And I'm like, it's like, this is happening. Like, we're in crisis mode now. Like, the sirens are going off.
You're birthing a baby.
People are opening up the suitcase and sticking the keys in. Like, the keys are about to be turned at the same time, if you know what I'm saying. So now I'm starting thinking like, all right, desperate options. I'm like, I'm a grown man. Not doing it in my pants. That is, there's a threshold that almost all of the time I have been above the threshold. Pretty much all the time. Other stories for other days. So I'm like, I gotta take care of this. So then I'm like, I got a water bottle. So I'm like, all right, so that's emergency backup plan. Babe, this is not something you need to listen to.
She very much needs to listen to this.
And stare at me. You can't just stand there and stare at me, babe. You got to sit down or something. I can't be looking at you.
Are you gonna laugh and pee right now on camera?
No, I'm not gonna laugh and pee right now. So I'm
tell Hope to start tickling you. I want to see that. I want to see.
I don't want to Hope to start tickling me, and I'm not gonna pee on camera. I'll just walk off camera.
Tell her to tickle you. I want to see it.
Pee on camera.
So when I figure out like it's not happening. Now it's happening. So my plan is water bottle is emergency backup. But my plan is I'm going to pull off one of these side roads. I'm going to like pull into a driveway. It's like 11 at night. I'm like, I'm just going to go for broke. If I get caught, that's how you end up on like the sexual offenders registry by peeing in public. It happens. Cause it's like indecent exposure, but I'm at the point where, let's roll the dice. So I pull down this
I'll
road.
be a registered sex offender. If I compete.
So I
get shot in
pull down
someone's
this road. When I
driveway in
say
the
I
middle of
pull, I
nowhere.
pull down this road, I'm not talking to like turn signals, slow down. I'm like, I chuck the Subaru around this corner on this road, and I'm like, all right, I need somewhere to stop. There's like it's like steep ditches. There's nowhere. I'm like, I don't know how much traffic's on this road. I can't stop. And I'm like, and then he reaches that tipping point where we're under 30 seconds now. Like I know it's happening. So I look at the water bottle, I pick it up, I bite the top and rip it off with one hand because I'm still driving.
I literally seen you not like unscrew it, but just tear it off. Just your
because I'm
beast-like
driving with one hand
fangs.
because it's a curvy road. So I can't, I'm holding the water bottle, but I've got the top off. I'm like, I can't roll the window down because the switches are in the middle. I open the door and slam it open with my elbow and dump the water bottle out over the door.
All while driving.
Yes.
This is amazing.
I turned the cruise control on for a second.
Shirt off.
No, but I turned the cruise control on, stand up, whip the belt, like open the belt, unzip, and then I settle back down. And I'm like, okay, good. I've gotten this far. I'm going to make it. So cruise control comes off. I start braking slowly, like releasing energy and releasing some other stuff into the bottle. But then, so like I'm coasting down to a slop, slowly braking, filling the bottle up. Everything's going fine. But then I'm like, uh-oh. Bottles start getting full enough, you gotta start tilting it up more because you gotta fill the whole bottle. Then I'm like, uh-oh, this is a more than one bottle pee.
Yeah, you can't stop it, can you?
Well, so I start planning like 3 or 4 seconds in advance. I'm like, all right, gotta get desperate here. Somehow, using all of the strength I've ever built up in my body, I hold it. And I stop.
I can't
midstream.
stop once it starts, Harry. It stings.
Hold it out. Hold it out. The door's open. And just squeeze as fast as I can because I need this thing to be empty. Like, I got to get back in there. Squeeze. Squirt it all out in the pavement. Back in. Fill it the rest of the way up. I'm not proud of this. I capped it. I did litter that bottle. I littered that bottle onto the side of the road. Zip back up. I get a message from Debbie. Hey, you just disappeared from behind us. Everything cool? And I'm like, yep, just had to stop for a minute. Get back on the road.
Everything's fine now.
Resume my trip.
So you never even got you didn't stop. You were
No, I by the time I was emptying the bottle out for round 2, I was stopped at that point. I just couldn't take the time to stop safely on the road in order to, So anyway.
All right, we've seen Dumb and Dumber, where he's trying to pee in a little bottle hole and it's getting all over everything.
What? Early 20.
How did?
Yeah, I wanted to ask the same question, James. I know where you're going with that.
Jeremiah, how did it not get all over everything?
Debbie remembers. She remembers that I disappeared from driving behind them. What do you mean, how did it not get over everything?
Yeah. How did you aim so well, or was it?
You don't aim. You just.
Was it in the bottle?
You just mate the two surfaces together with pressure.
Well, driving, dude. This needs to be in the next Fast and Furious. One last ride.
He had his foot up on the wheel at that point, driving.
Now, a good thing I was driving an automatic. I don't even own any automatics. What would I even do?
Just kill yourself.
I was gonna say, Jeremiah, what would have happened if you had wrecked and gotten pinned in the car like that? They find you like that.
I'm hanging upside down, just.
It's everywhere. Get me out.
He'd be like, just pinched in the car. They make like urinals for like the car, like little plastic things you can pee in. Yeah.
What?
I saw it in some medical. I don't know if I saw it at like Rite Aid or something.
Urinals for cars. Ursex spill-proof urinal. What?
Portable urinal. This looks like a vacuum. I don't know how I feel about that.
Dude, seriously, that's what you need. Don't buy the one that sucks it out. You get a little more than you bargained for there. Just get one of the
Portable urinal travel toilet for men, women, and children of all ages. It's a 36-ounce handheld black container. 36
Review.
ounces, that's not bad.
The angle of the neck should be a lot higher so the urine doesn't flow back. Oh, man. Also, there needs to be more threads or even a rubber gasket to secure the cap. I'm not very confident in its ability to hold. Most importantly, the plastic around the open needs to be machine smoother. You have to be very careful with trying to use it.
I'm very disturbed by what Debbie put in the chat. How does that work?
Oh, for women. It's so women can pee standing up.
Man.
Because women can do everything men can do these days, including get fake peeing tubes.
Oh, what is this?
Well, Joel, it's not for you. It's not for you.
No. I'll show you the photo.
What?
They have
Why?
at the bottom of the link that Debbie posted, they have a combo pack of the female urination device plus the camping bladder for the car. It's a combo pack.
A combo pack. Now all your friends and family can pee at the same time. Wait, where's our CSG chat? There it is. And that photo.
The gloves.
Gosh.
Oh. That's a diagram right there.
I'm halfway listening through the last podcast you guys did. And and James, when you were talking about the ocean and stuff like that, I just saw a recent, or not, and it's actually not a recent article, but I saw a clip for some movie called, I think, The Deep or something like that. Anyways, this lady The Shallows. It's like a surfer that gets stuck on a rock and there's a shark that wants to eat her, right? Well, I was curious, has there anyone been like completely swallowed whole, like by a whale or anything like that? Well, I found this article.
It took you months to find a trash man to write it, and now you're looking for someone who's been swallowed whole by a whale. I think you're looking for Jonah in the Bible.
Pretty wide net for this one, Joel.
No, I'm not asking
James.
anyone, like, do you know anybody? I'm saying I was like just curious, so I Googled it. And this article came up. Okay, this one is a nightmare-inducing. It's just a quick story. Basically, a scuba diver, right? He was with his son. He's like in a rowboat, or not a rowboat, just like a little small boat. He dives down. He's been diving in this area like hundreds of times, right? Well, he dives in, James, into the water, and all of a sudden he literally finds himself in a cave. And it took like a second for him to realize what is actually happening. A huge great white shark literally chomped him head first, but the teeth dug into like his like scuba gear in the back, right? So it didn't it's hurting him, but it didn't kill him immediately, right? Well, it broke like his air regulator and his goggles flipped off, and he literally like opens his eyes. I mean, he's been scuba diving a long time. He knows what's going on, but he's just like his hands are inside of a shark. He's looking into straight up darkness, and he's just like the article says, I really don't want to go out this way. And so he pulled a knife out. He got his hand out of the mouth or something, and he literally reached and found where the shark's eye is and just stabbed it like crazy. And the shark let go. He swam up. His son pulled him into the boat as the shark's coming up to get him again. And I'm like, it makes me never want to dive into the ocean ever. Like, I never, not face
You'll accidentally
first.
swim into a shark.
It's like, hope.
So, guys, if you too have been partially eaten by a shark, write into casualshenanigans@gmail.com with your story. We might read it on the podcast.
See, I don't know if I'm not bothered by sharks. It's the weird shaped things that don't have bones and stuff that, not bones, but like no cartilage or anything like that are just kind of globby and weird. Everything just gets weirder the further you go out and down. Just anyway,
is that time of the podcast? Everything just gets weirder the further you go down.
Jeremiah, thanks for telling the peace story. This has been a piss-loaded podcast.
Sure.
This is a full-bladdered podcast.
one can say that the good times have been flowing tonight.
There it is. All right, that's the title.
Don't forget to
Sorry,
catch
Joel.
our stream every
Joel,
Thursday night.
as much as I'd like to title the podcast, does how you mow equal to how you play games, which is one of the best sentences anyone's ever written. I think the good times are flowing is going to be it. Thank you, everybody, for coming out and being a part of the show. Like always, you can write into casualshenanigans@gmail.com to be a part of the show. Tweet at casualshenaniga. Find us on Facebook. Find us on Stitcher. Find us on Google Play Store, iTunes, Spotify for that one episode, YouTube again. Everywhere quality podcasts are given away for free. But until next time, thanks for coming out and being a part of the show. And stay casual.